Hi, my name is Rod. I'm excited to announce that I'll be going on a small tour for my upcoming CD, The Tale of Jayden and Axaven. And I wanted to share some info about it with you guys. I'm often asked what inspires me to write music. It's not usually a feeling or anything too sentimental. It's often a story. My previous work had to do with mythological archetypes, and this time around I thought I would write my own story. So just about 2 years ago, in mid-2012, I began writing a story called The Tale of Jayden and Axaven, which was basically an 8-part myth, and I then wrote a piece of music for each part to kind of describe the moods, the feelings, and often some very specific details that happen within each story. The story itself is the tale of two brothers, one good, one evil, and the unraveling of their destiny, and the climactic and meeting between them at the end of the tale. What inspired it for me was the concept of Jung's shadow. The shadow in Jungian psychology is our own dark side, not necessarily just what's maybe bad or evil about ourselves, but just what we don't even know and cannot see about ourselves, and which we sort of project often onto other people and other things. So I was very fascinated by this idea, and I thought I would write a story that would sort of capture this, especially in terms of the main hero of the tale, who is named Jayden, and we shall see what kind of happens to him towards the end. Anyway, in terms of how the music relates to the story itself, like I said, often I just want to capture the mood, but sometimes exact details in the story. I mean, the music is written to just kind of work completely by itself without necessarily any need of the story. However, for my shows, I'll have someone basically reading small opera notes, for example, of each chapter before I then play the piece. The small section that I wanted to play for you guys now is from the first movement, called The Glade of Light into the Dark. And in this particular part of the story, it describes how the young boy Jayden, who's been living inside a mine his whole life, decides to brave the exit of this mine where he's a slave. Of course, a monstrous serpent blocks his way before he can erupt and get out into this glade of light. So in this part of the story, he wakes up in the middle of the night in this dark cave, and he hears the sound of his own heart beating. And to that beat, he gets the courage to go and face this monster and eventually find him and defeat him and make his way out. So this part of the piece, Glade of Light, describes that moment in the story.